Jay here for Stretford.
Oh,
Paddock.
sorry.
Just tapped you 3 times on the arm. We're going live. Jay here for Stretford Paddock. This is Paddock Live. We are going to be talking about Sir Jim Ratcliffe, who tonight we've found out will be bidding for Manchester United after the club was put up for sale. What happened there, Jay?
I was getting confused. I don't like technology, right? I don't like this. What is this called?
iPod.
iPods.
Yeah,
I don't like it. Hey, what's wrong with a nice abacus?
Yeah, that's
or a bit of a bit of slate and a bit of chalk. Sorry, I was getting involved in the chat. So get involved in the chat and the comments. We want to hear from you guys what you think about the latest developments when it comes to Manchester United Football Club. We obviously know that the Glazers have made this announcement. They're looking to sell. Jim Ratcliffe, Sir Jim Ratcliffe of Failsworth,
yeah,
has apparently, or is apparently, I should say, ready to bid for Manchester United. Yeah. It's all happening. So we're going to get into that. We've also got some transfer rumours. We're also going to hear from Adam McCullough on Last Man Standing. It's all happening.
Yeah.
It is all happening tonight. So make sure you're getting involved in the chat and the comments. We want to hear from you. So we're starting off then. We're starting off with the Sir Jim Ratcliffe story, yeah?
Yeah.
Now, this is James Ducker, our mate, who's on the channel. And it's him and Jason Burt, I think you said, didn't you, from the Telegraph. So 2 reliable journalists that we listen to, journalists we speak to as well. Go on, I'll let you run through this one.
Yeah, so Radcliffe's set to bid for United after the Glazers formally put the club up on the market. Radcliffe is wary about overpaying, as insiders suggest the Glazers are looking for a price in excess of $5 billion, but has experience dealing with the broker Rain Group, as they had been taking offers for Chelsea. Ineos has a rule when launching takeovers that they expect investments to pay off or increase significantly in value after 3 years. 3 years is a quick turnaround, isn't it?
Like, they have this rule when launching takeovers that they expect that. But this is a bit different, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is Manchester United, and I know Ineos are obviously big, and is it chemicals and all that sort of stuff? They're like one of the leading lights in that in the world.
Chemicals.
But there's a little bit more here. So this is what Sir Jim Ratcliffe said.
Yes.
So go on, I'll let you run through this one.
He said they never want to be dumb money in town. Never, never. They are quite a big pickle as a business. They have that. Who is this saying this? Sorry.
This is Sir Jim Ratcliffe. This is an interview he gave 3 years ago.
Okay, he's talking about Ineos as though he's not part of them. They're in quite a big pickle as a business. They haven't got the manager's selection right. Haven't bought well.
They have been the dumb money, you see. Sorry, he's talking about Manchester United. It's all right, let me take over
There's too many things going on here.
So he's saying Ineos never wants to be the dumb money in town. Never, never.
I'll take it from here. Right, United are in a big pickle as a business. They have got the manager selection right, haven't bought well. They have been the dumb money, which you see with players like Fred. Slagging off Fred. Fred is gone immediately as soon as Radcliffe gets in. That's what we've learned today.
I think as well, that this is 3 years ago. It's slightly different. He's being asked about it. There's no rumours or looking. It's not looking likely that he's going to buy Manchester United at that time. The Glazers aren't in any of a sale. This is pre-pandemic as well, which was a bit of a game changer, wasn't it? So you're looking at it, you're thinking, okay, I don't think those are the quotes that mean as much. These are more relevant because this is literally 6 months ago. So go on, talk about this one.
He said, if you look at the wider picture of football, football is the biggest sport in the world. The British League is the biggest league in the world, and Chelsea is one of the best clubs in that league. When I was living in London for many years, Chelsea, I could go and watch. It was quite difficult to go and watch United, so I have split loyalties. That was him at the time, basically justifying why he was making moves for Chelsea. I think the term split loyalties was a kind of Chelsea-friendly version of saying, I've been to see him a few times, I'm a United fan, but they were my local team, so I went to watch it.
Point out as well,
what?
That's complete bollocks.
Why?
Where was it, he says here? When I was living in London for many years, Chelsea I could go and watch. London's not fucking 1,000 miles away from Manchester. I was a student, skint, and I got to Old Trafford at least 5 times a season or whatever.
Could you argue that he's slightly busier than you were?
No. I was doing an undergraduate degree in journalism and contemporary history.
Company.
Yeah, and I had a part-time job behind a bar. So, no, also, okay, he is a busy man. Yeah. You can get to Old Trafford even if you're busy and you want to go and watch football and you live in London. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's not like you can't get on a train for 2 hours.
So you're calling him out for not being a top red, is that what's going on?
No, I think this idea...
You think he didn't watch Chelsea?
No, I think he might have done, but I don't buy into this split loyalties thing.
I agree.
I think it's bollocks. It's like, well, I'm a United fan, right? But I live in Liverpool, so I'm just going to watch Liverpool.
Yeah.
Because I can't get down the M62.
No.
It's nonsense. Like, London isn't that far.
So you think he was just saying this because he was interested in Chelsea as a business opportunity?
Because Dan Rowe's pointed it out to him. He said it in previous interviews. He can't deny that now. Yeah. You were a boyhood Man United fan.
Yeah.
So his answer to that was, okay.
Like Chelsea as well.
Yeah, I've got split loyalties. Do you know anyone who's a Chelsea and a United fan?
Only Cam.
Yeah. I met one guy, I didn't meet him, I took a photo of him.
That's a weird thing to do.
It is, and this was back in the day before it was frowned upon.
Public humiliation.
And you know what? Match of the Day 2 used it as well. It was a half and half Chelsea United t-shirt.
Yeah.
Like, that is the only time I've ever seen something like that. But yeah, I don't buy into that. I think he's a United fan.
Yeah.
This idea that, I went to Chelsea, I've got split loyalties. So what, in 2008, was he sat there in his half and half scarf going, I hope they both win this final. Do you know what I mean? When John Terry slipped, was he crying and laughing? Come on.
Tier, one thing, one
yeah,
tier,
I mean, it's a load of bollocks. We'll get into some of the super chats and the chats as well, and then you can let me know what you think.
Yeah,
Jay Friscone, who was in the chat last night as well, says stories are starting to appear that the Dubai Sovereign Wealth Fund are the early leaders in the bidding process. Do you think they will be acceptable to fans? Thanks for a great show, guys. No, I don't think they'll be acceptable to some fans won't care.
What do you make of that?
I don't want us to be sports washing FC.
No.
We criticised City and Newcastle and all that for it, and now we're going to do it. Doesn't sit right with me personally. No. What do you reckon?
Exactly the same. And I hate the idea that football is just becoming like property in London, where it's owned by people who don't want to live there, don't care about it, just buy it as a business thing, or to sort of soak up markets elsewhere. I don't want that. I don't want football to be all the best clubs in the world are owned by just business ventures for sovereign states. I don't want that at all. Like, it's just, that would be, like, the fact that City are doing it already, fair enough, they came from almost nothing, so you haven't really lost a great sort of titan of British football there. Newcastle the same, they're a big club because they've got a big stadium, but they never win anything. PSG again, they were a decently big team in France, but they weren't the biggest team in France. This would be the first one where you go, oh shit, we've lost one of the big iconic sporting clubs to a sports washing exercise. That hasn't happened yet. Do you know what I mean? Like, imagine losing Barcelona or Madrid. I know that they're structured differently, so that couldn't happen. But Man United is the biggest club in the world in terms of fandom. If we became this sort of folly, this sort of exercise in PR for a sovereign state, that would be the beginning of the end for me loving football, I think. I really would struggle a lot with that.
I struggle with it as well. I think you've got to put your sort of money where your mouth is, and I've been quite vocal in my dislike of what's going on at years ago when it first happened at City. I was like, really? And then at Newcastle recently, I was like, that doesn't sit right with me. And you think, this isn't about, listen, I get you're not going to have nice billionaires, but when your club's being used as a sort of sports washing exercise to sort of distract or give good PR to certain regimes in particular that are carrying out human rights abuses, then that is a bit more than just, it's greedy businessmen or whatever.
Yeah.
That's a little bit more sinister, and it's not really something I'm into. Let us know though, each to their own. Listen, I've said this to mates who go to City and Newcastle. I don't blame football fans just wanting to go and watch football. Yeah. I'm not having a go at it. I'm saying that it'd be a bit hypocritical of me to criticise everyone else for doing it, and then when it's me going, or my club going, actually, now we're going to sign Mbappe and Haaland and all that, yeah, I'm all out with it.
Because I don't want that. No. I don't want football to just be billionaire nations, like hundreds of billions of wealth, just playing fucking chess against each other. Oh, it's this state versus that state in the final. I don't want that. No. That's not what football's meant to be. It's meant to be a local sport. Yeah. Not that you can't have a global fandom and a global fan base and all that, but that's not what football is. No. It's not meant to be fucking billionaire countries fighting it out on the football pitch against each other. That's just shit.
No, it is, I agree. Marcus6291 says, is the league in danger of becoming a Middle Eastern sports washing arms race if Dubai come with United? That's what we're getting at. And listen, this isn't about, I don't care if it's not about they're from the Middle East is the particular problem. If it was, Russian or Eastern European or wherever, I just don't want my club to be a sports washing enterprise. I don't want it to be used as this sort of PR exercise to hide or to give good promotion or a better front for something that's going on that's wrong and sinister and horrible,
Yeah.
which is what we've seen. It's like, oh, you know, we're hearing about all these human rights abuses and all these sort of terrible ways that certain people are getting treated by the owners or states that own certain clubs.
Yeah.
And look at you, go, that's horrible. And now it's going to be our turn, and we're going to be going, oh, it's all right now because it's United. No, you've got to keep your consistency there with your attitude, and my attitude has always been the same. It's Echo, who's been a member of the first team for 4 months, says, today's a great day, #Glazers out. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Paul Gill says, hopefully the sale happens and we get good owners. To be fair, there's no innocent billionaires. I get that one. Thanks for all the work, lads. Love from Toronto.
Because even Jim Ratcliffe has got his sort of skeletons in the closet.
People criticising his environmental stuff.
Yeah, there was, I think in 2019 there was one of their plants in Middlesbrough was told that there was, I think, 170 odd sort of violations of environmental code, and you know, basically the way that they were running their plant was against the law or against you know, what was meant to be going on, and they kind of said it's not really worth our money to. It won't be financially sound for us to adhere to these rules, so we're going to have to either, you know, ignore them or shut down. So I just, you know, he's had his critics and stuff, but like you said, how many billionaires are there that have just got their money from giving money to charity?
Miko Smith says Beck's saying he's interested. It'll be interesting to see if that happens.
But he's just going to be the front of a
yeah.
It'll probably be Qatar.
Yeah,
won't it? That's, you know, that's the wealthiest people he knows.
Abhinav Verma says don't like this Dubai thing. Also, as well, I get the idea that there's no innocent billionaires, but there's a difference between maybe breaking some environmental codes and killing people you don't like.
Yeah.
Journalists you don't like that we've seen with Jamal Khashoggi and the Saudi Arabian government. You know, I don't know, punishing people for being homosexual isn't the same as, you know, not adhering to certain codes when it comes to environmental safety.
Yeah.
There's different levels. So, yeah, again, I think people can make their own mind up. I'm not here to preach. I'm just here. I get asked, that's my opinion on what I think about it. Yeah. I'm not telling you what you should do. And I get the idea that as a football fan, you just want to go and watch football, or you just want to sit at home and watch football. Even with the Glazers, I didn't want to have to protest against them. I did, because we felt like you needed to get rid of him. But I didn't want to be in that position. I'd much rather just be able to go to the game and watch it. Yeah. But you have to do that because you felt so passionate.
I'd rather football, United, being a United fan, obviously we're going to take some sort of interest in every kind of layer of the club. But I'd rather that the owners wasn't a constant talking point. No. I wish that we could just focus on the manager, the players, maybe the chief exec and the scouts who are bringing the players in. I don't want the owners to be the only thing we ever talk about, or one of the biggest talking points at Man United. I'd love for him to just buy the club, sit in the background, get good people in to do the jobs, and rotate where necessary between the squad and the manager, depending on who's good enough and who isn't. I don't want this constant thing of, you know, the protests and stuff, which I think have definitely made a difference down the years. But I wish we didn't have to do that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I don't want to have to do that before games, or, you know, in the summer, or before Liverpool game like we did last year. I'm glad we did, but I don't want to have to do that anymore. Do you know what I mean? I want the Man United to just be a normal, proper club being ran by people who know and care about football. That's all I want. Yeah, no, I agree, bro. Just that one final quote. I don't think I read that out. No, this is from October, obviously a couple of months ago, or last month. He said, if it had been for sale in the summer, then yes, we would have probably had a go, following on from the Chelsea thing, but we can't sit around hoping that one day Manchester United will become available. Well, now it is available. You don't have to sit around hoping, Sir Jim Ratcliffe. It is available, so get your wedge out and pay. Get your what out? Your wedge, not your wedge. I thought you said your wedge. No, don't get your wedge out. So how much is that worth? Get your wedge out. If he's worth 20 billion, that's got to be worth... How much do you reckon Jim Ratcliffe's wedge is worth? Is that what you're asking me? A couple $100 million. Do you reckon? Yeah, because that contains the life force of the Ratcliffe itself. Do you know what I mean? But, like, you know, when a horse is put out to stud... Yeah, that's how we got into this mess, by the way. Yeah, exactly. So let's not go down that route. Let's not... Can we not talk about Sir Jim Ratcliffe's cock? Just because he's 70 on this channel, right? He may be our new owner, and I don't have to try and explain to him when he does come on this channel why previously we were talking about his knob. You were talking about his knob, not me. You did. You started it. Meow 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 has been a member of the Academy for 6 months. Says, what about fan ownership? I would love fan ownership. Do you want to know something, Jay? Something disheartening, I thought. I think we've been through enough disheartening conversations this evening, but go on. I thought one of them was quite heartening. For Man United fans, just fans, to own the club at the current value that it's worth about 4 billion, let's say 5 billion, whatever, you would need 5 million fans to pay £1,000 each.
Yeah.
I don't think that's possible.
You're thinking it the wrong way round.
Go on then.
1,000 fans
Yeah.
to pay 5 million each.
Have you got 5 million?
Nah, but you could lend me some, innit?
Yeah, I'll just split my 10
I've
million
seen
off.
you and Sloppy Joe's doing big things nowadays. Don't tell me you ain't got 10 million in the bank.
The problem is, I'd love a fan ownership model, obviously. I just don't see, it doesn't seem to be anywhere on anyone's radar, does it? No journalists are talking about it. No other clubs are doing it. Like not turning from a privately owned structure to a fan ownership thing, other than Stretford Paddock. Like I just don't see a world.
Steve's done it, bless him.
Yeah.
He has done what he set out to do. So fair play to him.
I don't see a world where that is possible. There seems to be no rumours or suggestion that that's even in anyone's brain whatsoever. So as much as that idea sounds good and exciting, it just doesn't seem plausible.
I like this. The zombie fanatic. As an Arsenal fan, I really don't want United to become really successful right now. I like that, honest.
Yeah, good.
Andreas Karlstrom says, seems like United Twitter wants to earn money. That would hurt and be the final nail in the coffin for modern football. Is Amazon any better? Would love a Ratcliffe and Beck's combo, though.
I definitely prefer that. Bezos, wouldn't you?
Oh,
Some
God, no.
fucking steroid nerd who sells books online.
No, not him.
You prefer what? Dubai and that?
Jeff Bezos isn't great, is he?
He's not great, but what is he? A little loser with some sunglasses on. We can knock him out.
He threw Jamal Khashoggi under the bus, though, didn't he, after he died? Because he works for, was it the Washington Post that Jeff Bezos owns? So he was at his memorial and talking about, justice and all that. And then when he wanted to do a deal with the Saudis, he washed his hands of it all. So I think he's a little bit underhanded, shall we say, to be honest with you. I get, you're going to have to go a long way to find a really nice billionaire.
Yeah.
But I don't know. And also, Jeff Bezos, he probably don't even know what United are. He's like, oh, Manchester United, yeah, I love them. I love all the tennis. What? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? He's never, ever indicated any inclination towards Manchester United whatsoever. Anyway, enough of this talk about takeovers and money and billionaires and all that. Let's talk about Jude Bellingham, or even better, let's see what Adam McCullough's got to say about Jude Bellingham. He's been chatting as part of Bet Victor's Last Fan Standing. Here's what he had to say.
I want to see society so he doesn't join your lot and ruin his career. I don't want him to ruin his career at Man United like Jadon Sancho has.
Adam, Man United even a big club if they can't get Bellingham in. He must look at Man United and go, nah, can't be able to that.
Why would he do that? I mean, look at Ten Hag and what Ten Hag building. I think
could you get him? Do you think is there a world where he signs?
I think Jude Bellingham. I think Jude Bellingham is more likely to join Man United than probably Liverpool because of the wages, because of the transfer fee, etc. But I don't think he will join Manchester United. I think when you were talking about midfielders there, and you think about what Real Madrid are building, Camavinga and Tchouaméni, they were to add Bellingham over there, and there are a lot of rumours linking him with them as well. I think that would be huge for them, and it'd be huge for him.
So that was our Macca, a.k.a. Adam McCullough, chatting with Bouvet the Blue, talking about Jude Bellingham. Macca's not convinced. What do you reckon with Jude Bellingham? Do you reckon United are going to get him?
I'm sick of everyone saying that Liverpool are going to sign people. Do you remember they were going to sign Mbappe? Do you remember they were going to sign fucking anyone? And in the end, they signed an overpriced striker that no one had ever heard of, and Thiago on a free.
Yeah, it's
Thiago is the only big name they've signed since Klopp arrived.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He's the only world-known name, and they got him free.
Yeah.
Everyone else has been. I mean, obviously they've done a great job with it, but Van Dijk he came from Southampton, who was a sort of bottom half team. Yes, he was a lot of money, but he wasn't like a world star at Southampton and Celtic before that. Salah was a sort of decent player at Roma. Firmino, no one had heard of him. Like Mane, again, you got him from Southampton. What was it, 30 million quid? I don't see all of a sudden why they're going to start splashing Jude Bellingham money on these sort of top up-and-coming talents, do you?
Nah, I agree. I mean, get involved in the chat and the comments. Go over to Bet Victor's Last Fan Standing. Let them know Stretford Paddock sent you, and give them a comment. Let them know whether you think Jude Bellingham will go to Manchester United, or come to Manchester United, go to Real Madrid, go to Liverpool. Are City going to stick the nose in? You never know. A lot might depend on this World Cup, because he's already put himself in the shop window. We've got a super chat from Jamie Usher. I'm going to go back into the fan ownership thing, because everyone's chatting about it, and I think it's still a hot topic.
Yes.
And we can get to transfer rumours and all that shite another time. Jamie Usher says, a good owner is worth more than a fan ownership scheme. We've all seen how much United fans disagree on everything. Wouldn't get anything done. It's a good point. Good to see Solo in the chat from the United Agenda saying, definitely would love to see Ratcliffe take over, but we need to be careful what we wish for. I know, I get that. It's very difficult and it's very complicated. There's no easy options. People talking about the differences between certain regions as well, saying, the UAE isn't the same as Qatar in terms of the way they handle sports and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I get, I'm a bit wary of just going, all those nations are identical.
Of course.
There's nuance to it, and there's some, states who have a bit of a better pedigree when it comes to sporting events and stuff. There's others who don't, and there's, in terms of human rights and stuff like that, there's differences too. So, you have to be careful.
You have to do your research and know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
to talk about those things.
Yeah, exactly. It's very simplistic to go, that like bit over there.
Yeah,
they're all horrible. They're not, are they? What I mean? So yeah, it's something I think that personally I need to look into.
Yeah, same.
I do.
Same.
Because I'm, wandering around in a daze as usual, just like I hate Glazers, can't wait for them to go. Yeah. It's like, okay, they're going now. These are the people that could buy her. What do you know about him? Nothing. Yeah. Other than, a few articles I've read.
Well, yeah, exactly. This is the thing in it, and now, like we said, it's always been the kind of understanding that yes, at some point the Glazers will sell, but not yet. That's what basically the word has been up until 3 days ago or 2 days ago. And now all of a sudden, there is the genuine reality that they are going to sell to one of these people, whether it's Ratcliffe, American investors, Qatari investors, or investors from Dubai. Now you need to really, over the next few days, really research who these people are and who we would like to own Manchester United, because whilst we will have no say, obviously me and you, I don't mean, but as fans we'll probably have little say. Hopefully, they will take some notice of, the owners that they're selling to. That's the one thing that, if the Glazers can do anything for Manchester United, and I know they've not really gone out of their way to do anything for Man United for the last 17 years. In fact, quite the opposite. I would hope they would sell it to someone that has the best interests of the club at heart, because, surely, even if they don't give a fuck about Man United, they appreciate there are a billion people in the world that do. And to, give it over to people who don't care about football, don't care about Man United for the sake of improving their sort of geopolitical PR, that would be really upsetting. And I think, hopefully, they've got it in their hearts not to do that. But, doesn't seem to bother anyone else, does it?
No. Happy in the Super Chat says, great to see you, lads. Like always, what a week we're having. Ronaldo and his toxic fans leaving, and the Glazers are fucking off up the paddock. Yes. Lads. Danny Shields says, sent a super chat that was missed. Sorry, Danny. Danny, do me a favour. Drop just a normal chat in what your super chat was. Don't get another super chat.
Can you find it, Ethan? Can you get it on the screen?
Because I can't, sorry, I don't want to bore you with the details. I'm on a different finger. But yeah, if you can just write out what your super chat was, post it, Danny. I'll look out for you. I can see you have it. And then I'll read it out. And apologies for that. I always try and read every super chat, I do. Dino Lewis says, is the Stretford Paddock coming to South Wales after Dublin? We're in Dublin on the 30th of December.
Yes.
Me, him, McCullough, Howson, Brian McClare, Shocky McClare himself, 117 goals for Manchester United Football Club. 2 goals, I think, in cup finals, including the winner in one, It's going to be mad, innit?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? 4 Premier League titles.
4 Premier League titles. If you live in Dublin or Ireland,
I think,
or England or Scotland or America or anywhere, come over and see us. Come join us.
Is there a link? Oh, there. Sorry, bro. Yeah, we've got a link. Link
that is in the description. If you want a ticket, great time for Christmas presents as well, for your loved ones, for your friends, for your family. Get a ticket. Stretford Paddock Live in Dublin, 30th of December. Come and check it out.
BMW Racing 1974 says, trying to get somewhere to stay nearby the Red Cow in Dublin at the minute. Hope to see you there. Yes. Oh, Miss Man United, my missus, she's coming along as well.
Is she?
My better half.
Is she paid?
You are?
Is she paid?
She wants to, otherwise she ain't coming.
Good.
You know what I mean? There's no free rides in this gaff, mate. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Running a business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Never mind Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Do you think he got anywhere by just inviting his missus to Dublin on events?
Probably.
You might have done, actually.
Yeah,
all right, in that case, you can come for free. Don't worry
about it. You can come.
I'll pull a few strings.
Yeah.
Right, what else are we going to talk about? I'll tell you what, not what else we're going to talk about. I'll talk about briefly, because I don't think me and you spoke about it on a live together since it happened. Ronnie.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I know we're all excited about the Ratcliffe thing, and we'll get back to it because I do want to get into it. I just want to ask about the Ronaldo situation. It broke last night.
Yeah.
You went live with it. Since then, today, we've had an update. Is that this is a bit weird, and he's been banned for 2 matches because of this phone incident. Go on, you read that out.
The 37-year-old appeared to hit the phone as he went down the tunnel after defeat at Goodison Park in April. Ronaldo, who left United by mutual consent on Tuesday after criticising manager Erik ten Hag, was also fined £50,000 by the Football Association. The suspension will not affect his World Cup involvement. He's knocked a phone out of someone's hand and now he's been banned for 2 games. I don't really understand it, to be honest. What point after a match does it go from being you're banned to it's a police matter or nothing else? Like, how can he get banned for stuff he does in Tesco? Can he get a 2-match suspension for leaving the toilet up at home, like the toilet seat up? When does it go from being the field of play to all of a sudden it's not to do with football anymore? Because that was after the game, not even on the pitch anymore. He was on the little strippy bit.
The strippy bit.
Wasn't he?
Yeah.
Why is he even getting banned for that? Either it's a police matter or it's nothing, surely.
Do you know what? That was all such a load of fucking bollocks. Honestly. Like, he's whacked this phone out of his kid's hand. Then you had the photos of the kid's hand all bruised. Like, proper compo face with the parent as well. Like, and now he can't sleep at night and you know, he's been bedwetting and he's not been able to go into school and all that. And every time he hears Sue, he runs and dives under the bed and all this nonsense. And it's like, you're just after some money, aren't you? Come on. Selling your story to the papers after a bit of dough. And I couldn't care less whether Ronaldo gets banned for matches he's never going to even be affected by anyway, or gets a fine, because let's face facts, 50 grand fine, that's like fining me and you a penny. It's probably less than that. Yeah. So I'm not bothered. I just think it was all a bit farcical. It really was. It just stunk of like, oh, come on, you know, like, just let's try and get some money out of it. That's how it felt to me anyway. I might be wrong. Forgive me if I am, but it's just, yeah.
Cynical J.
It just did, didn't it?
Yeah.
It was all like, when I saw an interview, I think it was for Liverpool Echo or anything, it was just like, really? All this has gone on because of that. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying encouraging he should be whacking phones out of kids' hands.
But it was very much
that deep.
split seconds.
Yeah,
like,
do you know what I mean, man?
Knocking someone's hand.
It did. Nishan Casey says, 5 million people to pay 1,000, why not? Let's do it. Yes. Shall we do? Yeah. If that's how it works, that's to buy Manchester United. Just back on the United front.
It's all United.
Andreas Karlstrom says, people act like a new investment owner needs to invest billions on transfers. Look what we have spent recently without any owner investment. I think there's what's the sort of things that you need to see happen from a new owner?
Here's what I want.
Go on.
Take United out of debt. Or certainly out of the sort of debt we're in now.
Yeah.
Like, if they were, and I was saying this on around our way earlier, but if they were, for instance, to buy the club, take us out of the current debt we're in, what is it, 580 million, whatever it is, take us out of that, let us run as a self-sustained business.
Yeah.
Even if they don't put any of their own money in,
yeah.
Which I don't particularly think we need as a club. Do your best to bring in football people at every single level.
Yeah.
You're the owner of Manchester United. You need to bring in people, even if you're not a football businessman.
Yeah.
You know, Jim Ratcliffe's a wealthy businessman, but being a chemical engineer doesn't necessarily make you the best football owner. But make an attempt to bring in the best people you can at CEO, at director of football, at manager, at scouting level, at every level. Because at the minute, or what the Glazers did is they brought in their banker mate to conduct transfers at Manchester United. That's why we've been shit, well. Because the Glazers hired Ed Woodward because they liked him, because he helped them buy United.
Yeah.
That's what the new owner needs to not do. The other thing is, I don't even need them to spend their own money. And even if you want to put the club in some debt, or if you wanted to, let's say how Tottenham have done, they have debts now because of their new stadium, but they've got a fucking new stadium to show for it. Man United have got 600 million quid debt, and what have we got to show for it? Nothing. Yeah. Because that debt was used as the value of the club against itself to be able to buy it. Like, there is good debt and bad debt, and owning a club by paying none of your own money and leveraging the value of that club against it is bad debt. Do you know what I mean? If we would say, right, we need to take out a little bit of a loan because we're going to do it with the stadium. We're going to take a bit of a loan because we want to do it with the training ground. I wouldn't love it, but that makes some sense. That's what people make debts for every day of the week. But it needs to be someone that cares about football and cares about Man United doing well, and we haven't seen that for the last 17 years.
No, I completely agree with that. That's what I want to see as well. Danny Shields, this is a super chat I missed, sorry, says, the Stretford Paddock FC Irish Supporters Club are buzzing for the December the 30th. Get in and come over to join us. Will be a great crack. Thanks, Danny.
Yes, mate.
Looking forward to seeing you and everyone else who's coming down there to Dublin on the 30th. Me, Joe, McCullough, Howson, Brian McClare. Yeah, I mean, listen.
What do you need from the new owners?
The stadium needs sorting.
Yeah,
seriously. Do you know the two main things I want?
Go on.
Stadium sorting.
Transfers.
Do you know I love transfers, man?
I know you do.
Do you know what? Like, I don't even care about results. Just want transfers, man. Just fucking sign loads of players. Like, do you remember when we went Turbo under Van Gaal?
Yeah.
Just buying everyone.
Yeah.
I don't even like some of them players, but I love the fucking fact we signed him. Schneiderlin, like, yeah, great, get him.
Yeah.
I remember thinking he's not all that, but
Yeah,
when we got
Matteo
him,
Darmian. He's ace.
Yeah, he's ace him. He's Sergio Romero's best keeper ever.
Yeah.
Just get them all in, man. Just make loads of transfers. It's awesome, that.
So go on then.
That.
So, investment in the stadium. You weren't even against a new stadium, were you?
No, I'm not. I know I'm in the minority here. Listen, for me, Old Trafford will always be Old Trafford. You know, it has its history, no matter whether it's rebuilt or it's revamped. It will always be that stadium. And people say, well, it's not the same pitch. You know, you want the same pitch that the Busby Base played on. That pitch has been dug up and returfed literally about 1,000 times since then Duncan Edwards and those players, you know, played on it. So I don't think you lose all that. Also, things like, you know, the Munich Sunderland stuff, you can put in the new stadium. I just feel like, I don't know, Old Trafford, I feel like a new stadium might be the answer. I really do, because how many times can you keep revamping the stadium? It's got so many things wrong with it.
100 years old
That's
as well.
what I mean, but I know I'm in the minority. I don't want to get into that, because I know a lot of people say, no, I've been through all this before. I get all that. But the one thing, you know, the one overriding thing, and this isn't even about necessarily spending money, even though I love transfers, I want to see that. Do not fuck with Eric Ten Hag.
Yeah.
Don't come in as a new owner and go, right, I'm the new owner now. First things first, new manager coming in with me. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Don't even bother. I don't want you to come in, put a new manager in and give him £1 billion to spend. I'd rather you didn't.
Yeah.
Leave Eric Ten Hag alone. Seriously.
Yeah.
He's a great manager who knows what he's doing. You can tell.
Yeah.
Finally, we've got a manager where you think, fuck me, he's got
This is modern football.
Everything is modern. I loved Ollie, but his CV wasn't great. He'd been sacked from Cardiff getting him relegated. There was certain question marks about him tactically. There were certain question marks about his signings. Eric Ten Hag's come in. He's getting a tune out of the players that were awful last season. Yeah. Luke Shaw is back to his best. Marcus Rashford's playing better than ever. Scott McTominay looks rejuvenated. These were players I'd given up on. Even Anthony Martial, I know he's been injured. He looks born again. Yeah. He's bringing through youngsters the right way. Garnacho, bad attitude, right, you're not playing. Then he brings him in again when he's ready and he's smashing it. And his signings are mint. Yeah. He's made, 5 signings? They've all played a big part. I think there's only Dubravka who's not played, but played one game, sorry. You look at it, Malacia, €40 million, bargain. Getting a tune out of Luke Shaw because he's got competition.
And he's a very capable backup.
Capable backup,
well.
100%. Martinez, I love him.
Arguably the best centre-back in Europe this season.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
I love the guy.
Flawless for Man United.
Of course he has. Yeah. So I love him. Casemiro, enough said.
Yeah.
Ericsson, I'm surprised how good he is.
And
a free, buzzing. Anthony, €100 million, I don't care. He's mint.
Yeah.
He's a Manchester United player. He's so entertaining. He wants the ball constantly. He scores goals. He goes past men. He does tricks and stuff. Great.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's all making sense. Like, finally. So don't come in and go, here's what I'm going to do. Come in, give you a load of money, but first things first, manager's gone. I'm going to bring in, I'm going to bring in, you know, who's the latest flavour of the month? I'm going to bring in, you know,
Patrick Vieira.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want that.
No.
I want you to stay with Eric Ten Hag, give him the tools he needs to finish the job, because I think if he's got the right backing, he'll win us a title. I really do believe that. Listen, I'm going to wrap it up there. Thanks to everyone who got involved in the chat and the comments. Don't forget to hit like, share and subscribe. There's a subscribe link in the chat, so do subscribe. I'm sorry if I didn't get a chance to talk to you all, because loads of you were popping off there in the chat. I'm going to be back in the morning with an interview with Kieran Maguire. So we're going to get Kieran Maguire. He's a football financial expert.
Yeah.
He can explain all this far better than I can, or Joe can.
Was someone as well who, I wouldn't say necessarily broke the story, but was one of the first people to say he thinks the Glazers will be up for selling soon. This was a few months ago on this channel. He came on and said, based on the numbers, I think the Glazers will be up for selling soon. And they are, and he was right.
Do you know what else he said?
He's brilliant, Kieran Maguire.
He nailed it with Jim Ratcliffe as well.
He did.
He said, look at what Jim Ratcliffe's been doing.
Yeah.
He turned 70 this year. All of a sudden he's doing interviews. He never used to do that. He said the bid for Chelsea wasn't a proper bid.
No.
It was late. It was less than other bids. It was like, I'm here, I'm bidding for football clubs, and I like Manchester United.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So we'll chat to Kieran Maguire. That'll go out in the morning, and what I hear you guys getting involved in it all. Joe, where can people find you, brother?
Check me out on Sloppy Joe's podcast. New episode out yesterday, so go and check that out. Fresh episode of Sloppy Joe's.
In fact, Scotty and Motti will be back tomorrow night, so join us for that one. I think we'll be doing a live about 6 or 7 o'clock. So come and join us for that. Don't forget as well to subscribe to this channel. And join us on the 30th of December for that live event in Dublin with Brian McClare and Stephen Howson, Adam McCullough and Joe Smith, of course, and myself. That's been Joe. I've been Jay. This has been Paddock Live. Big thanks as well to Bet Victor and Last Man Standing. Go and check them out, and thanks for watching.